Hello. My name is April, also known as SHIVRSHOTS Photography, and this is episode 4 of Grain Podcast. Welcome. Oh my god, it is so nice to have you here for the 4th episode. I never really thought that people would listen so far. So friends and family, thank you so much. It really means the world to me, and especially the feedback I got on my last episode was just like so nice. Again, if you hear any doggy sounds, we have a little doggy here. I have tried fixing everything, so YouTube should be good now, at least for a video. So we're just gonna get straight into it. Today we're gonna talk a little bit more about creating more of a luxury experience for my wedding clients, a little bit about kindness, COVID, and just in general my creative goals. We're gonna talk about things in the wedding corner, what makes a good timeline coordinators, a few weddings that I have done recently. Oh my god, yeah, we're gonna talk about a few weddings I've done recently. And then today, top 5 is things I want to achieve in 2026. So let's get right into it. So this week has honestly been so exhausting, but in a very good way. I feel very blessed for all the weddings that I'm able to do. I had one TikTok video go viral, and I feel incredibly grateful for that, because it's just like, I had one TikTok go viral last August, and that got me so many clients. So for one thing to go viral again and get an influx of bookings, just like sitting and getting 25 bookings within an hour, is just like, oh my god. Or inquiries, I think that's a better word to say. And it makes me feel so grateful that so many people trust me with their day. And with that, I'm trying to work so hard on making better experiences for my couples, that I do get back to my clients very quickly, that I do have a very good and in-depth wedding little binder. I have for sure so many people that they just kind of go blindly into this. I mean, I would have never known how to book or how to work a wedding myself, or how to like plan for it. So for me, that has worked like 40 weddings, I do know what works and what doesn't work, and what is a flat lay, how do you plan family portraits after the ceremony, and just like there's so many questions out in the air. So with that, I did make a little wedding binder. I spent a lot of time making it very nicely and perfect. So that is out, and I said that to all my new wedding clients. I just booked an Indian wedding, and I'm so excited about that one. It's a huge one at a super nice location. I have so many good locations, so I'm very excited for all this year. This year is actually starting to book up quite a bit, but next year bookings for sure too is starting to book up a little bit, which makes me very happy. I've always been a person that kind of worries a lot. So for that to be something that's like, God blessed me with people that trust me with something so special, like their wedding day, that just truly means the world to me. I've been very busy recently as well. So it's been nice just having like a few days sitting at home. I haven't really sleeping well either, so I'm just kind of hanging by a thread. I did everything in my power to like straighten my hair, look kind of presentable for the camera today. So yeah, what I do for you guys. I've been working a lot with making TikToks, making good content for Instagram, finding my style, making sure I understand what my goals are for the future, so I'm not just like stagnating, understanding what my weaknesses and my strengths are, and also really working towards building or weakening that. I think for sure the next thing I really want to focus on is just film photography. And excuse my cow leg here. I have been really working hard on just like finding good film photographers, learning from them, asking them what settings they have. Oh, you have the same camera as me. What spot metering do you use? Just really going in depth, understanding how my camera works. Oh my god, I also got a new lens, both for my analog and my normal camera. So I'm just so excited about that. Why does it cost so fucking much, by the way? Like, oh my god. I got, first of all, oh my god, I really am talking a lot today. The first one I got was a Tamron. Used that forever. And now I got a Sigma one. And boy, let me tell you, the Sigma one, so good. So there's just like so many things happening. I had 2 weddings this past weekend. One was on Saturday and one was on Monday. And I'm going to have another one this Saturday. So I'm very excited about that one. It's for Taylor and Tyler. Shout out. They are amazing people. The one I did on Saturday was at Lopez Island. So if you're not from Washington, it's literally on an island in between Washington and Canada. So you have to take a ferry. First of all, I was okay with that because I saw on maps that was 3 hours. And I was like, I can travel for 3 hours, take photos for 5 because she booked a small package, and then travel back again. That's going to be a busy and exhausting day, but I'm okay with that. Little did I know, the day before I checked the ferry times, because my dumb ass thought it was like once an hour. The ferry goes once an hour because it's Washington. It's 2026, right? No. They go once every 4 hours. So the ferry goes at 6 and 10. I had to be there at 10, so obviously I couldn't take the 10 one. So I had to take the 6 one. So for me to drive from where I live to the ferry, that's 3 hours. I had to wake up at 1 a.m. to drive. Oh my god. And then have to scurry and get back on the ferry back home again and then drive through Seattle and the traffic. The wedding was so cute. Super sweet people. But that trek I'm never doing again. I literally came home and I canceled one of the ferry weddings I had. I was like, girl, I'm not doing another ferry ever again in my life. And that girl was so sweet. She was just like, girl, I want you, not the ferry. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm booking you. So yeah, and the wedding I had on Monday, I actually like weekday weddings because then I can kind of do whatever on Sunday. I slept like 12 hours when I came home from that Saturday wedding. I really needed that sleep. So the Monday wedding was at Rose Hill Community Center. When you hear community center, you kind of think, oh, it's like a shitty, ugly building. No, that was so grand and beautiful, and it was just like full of windows, my bad, not mirrors. And it was so stunning. The theme was just like black and white. It was so classy, and I tried new settings on my camera. I tried new compositions in terms of posing. I've been really working hard on just like, okay, I noticed that family photos isn't my biggest strength. Like, I know how to pose people, but I want to make it look good, even better. I don't want people to look at their family photos and think, okay, that looks fine. I want them to look at their family photos and think, oh my god, I'm obsessed. So that's for sure something I've been wanting to like plan. It was raining and then it wasn't raining and then the rain was muddy and the grass was muddy and it was just a lot. But it definitely gives me a lot of trial and error on dictating big groups. And yeah, I'm honestly super happy. I think Washington weather for sure is kind of ruining that a little bit for me. And I think once we move, because if you're new here, my husband, he's military. So when we're moving next year, because of his duty station change, whatever, I'm hoping we move somewhere warmer where work here isn't seasonal, because there's only so much weddings I do in January, February, and December. While, for example, in Florida, December can be a super good month because it's not too warm. I'm definitely hoping to get more weddings in Florida. That's like, I think, my dream place where I want to do elevated weddings with more film, more like fine art edits. My wedding photographer actually has a very nice preset. If you don't know what preset is, it's kind of like a filter for your photos, but it's like more than that. It's not just a filter you slap on, you have to work with it. So I messaged my wedding photographer and I was like, hey, what preset do you use? Because I'm obsessed with how it makes the greens look super nice and muted. And she gave me that, and I was like, oh my god, I have been looking for this for so long, and I thought it was this, and it was something completely different. It's archetype ones, the green pack. So I bought those, and I've been experimenting a little bit. Recently, I have been using Good Light, the Eric pack. Honestly, love both of them. I think they look amazing. Both of them have a very similar trek to what film is, like what Portra 800 or 400 is. So I've been just absolutely loving that. Yeah, besides that, I've been just like really trying to appear more professional and feminine in my answers. And I noticed that on weddings, if I come in like pants and a sweater and hair up in a bun and no makeup, I feel like I feel so unprofessional and I feel so out of place. And I'm not saying I have to do like my hair and makeup every single time I need to do a wedding, but I think I did that on Saturday. And then I did my hair and makeup, tight bun, earrings, blazer, super nice top. Like when I did that on Monday, I felt so in charge. So I think for sure I'm going to start dressing up again for weddings. And just coming with a clipboard. I had a little stroller. Not that I don't put enough effort into every wedding. I do. But it's just like how I perceive myself. And if I want to book high-end weddings, I need to start dressing like that as well. Yeah. It sounds so wrong because it sounds like I just come with like the sweatpants and like, I'm here to take weddings. But it was like, that's not what happens at all. Like, I do dress up, but I want to dress up more. And I wanted to appear like super professional. So actually today I went to Ross and I was looking for some clothes. Actually, I really like Ross. Ross is so nice. And Old Navy too. Low-key, they have the best like jumpsuits that I can move easily. I can sweat easily in without me looking like a mess. Because especially during summer weddings, summers here in Washington can be brutal. Like, I want something I can sweat in and be okay with. So I'm definitely on the lookout for that. I didn't find that much, so I went on Amazon. I love Amazon actually so much. Yeah. But while I was driving there, I just noticed there was like cars, always on I-5, which is like our highway here in Washington. People kind of cut in line, they do brake check you, they ride your ass if you're not driving high quick enough, and it makes me so annoyed because I feel like before COVID, this is just an observation by the way. No, it's not an observation. I actually have scientific proof of here. I just noticed that people are so fucking rude. They're so rude. They're so entitled. They're so impatient. And it comes to a point where I'm just like, by the way, sorry, I'm trying to sit more upright because I noticed on my last podcast video, I could see my double chin the entire time. I was like, oh. So I'm trying to like look more put together. I really am trying, okay? I do weddings on Saturdays, and that's only then do I go out and actually make myself presentable. So when my husband comes home and I don't look like a hobo, I'm like, Beyonce, please don't copyright this, okay? But yeah, I just noticed that people are so rude and entitled, and I notice how people talk to each other at Ross or how they talk to the cashier, and I'm just like, oh, what happened with humanity here? Like, why are we not nice to each other, you know? And that really made me kind of reflect on COVID and how I feel like COVID was such a big change. That before COVID, oh my god, people are so loud here. Excuse me. Before COVID, I really feel like people were a little bit more genuine, a little bit nicer. They for sure kind of took a little bit more care of each other and took each other under their wing, and they weren't gatekeeping, and it wasn't so, dare I say, malicious. And now I just feel like people are so rude. Again, like I said earlier, entitled. They don't really take care of each other. especially here, and when I lived back in Norway, I just felt like people were just so mean. And it really kind of brings me to, I have a note here. It just says, according to WHO, World Health Organization, the COVID-19 pandemic triggered a 25% increase in anxiety and depression worldwide in just the first year. Which really makes me think like, yeah, I relate to that. I understand that. It's kind of the same doing a home-based business or just being an entrepreneur, a business owner yourself. Because that long-term uncertainty, the same goes to your business and your finances. Like, I don't know if I will have an income next October. That is when my last wedding is booked. I have no idea if I'm gonna have money for food or my phone bill or our future children. I'm blessed now, yes, and I thank God every day for that. But, like what happens after that? That long-term anxiety, it's a high risk, high reward, because I take that risk, and I could go to any McDonald's and work and get $3,000 a month and be very fine and know that, okay, that I get that every single month. Or I can take that risk and now I get $10,000 a month, Now, don't quote me on this. It's only like a few months here and there, but it for sure is high risk, high reward, but it's also high stress and high anxiety. And that's why I also really want to dive into doing more luxury weddings. And now I feel like I'm not considered a budget photographer anymore, because I feel like my skill, any feedback I get, I work so hard on the film, the Polaroids, the customer experience. Like, it's not a booking, it's an entire experience. I'm really working towards being able to book like 6 to 10 grand weddings, so I can work only a few times a month or a few times a year to be able to spend more time with our children. Like, that is my long time goal, but also get to book weddings that make sense to me. Like, I want to go to Italy, I want to go to Vietnam, I want to be able to do huge Indian weddings, I want to be able to do very grandiose, elegant, timeless weddings. And I think that's what more of my interest is now. Yeah, for sure. And being a business owner too is just like I said earlier, with that social isolation. During COVID, you were kind of very sanctioned to your house. And as a business owner, I don't have any reason to leave the house unless I go to weddings. Like, I can do consultation calls at home, I can edit at home, especially now that we have our dog. She's sleeping, by the way. She's so cute. I will take a photo and I'll post it on YouTube. She's the cutest little thing ever. Now that we have a dog as well, I don't want to leave for anything more than 2 to 3 hours. We cage her, so like I don't want to cage our dog for 5 hours. If I want to go sit on Jesus Christ, and edit in a cafe. So it does end up a lot that I kind of stay at home, and then okay, I'll put on a wash. Okay, I'll go do groceries. The house is a little bit dirty, let me clean that. Like, there's so many things that working from home, maintaining the house, maintaining our dog, it just kind of becomes this full-time job without leaving the house. And like I talked about in the last episode, I really want to get better at just like getting out of the house every day, go work out 2 hours for myself, not worry about her. She's fine. She's not going to die in a cage for an hour. Like, we're good. Insanity. But I feel like that's such a correlation to COVID, that when you're isolated and you're uncertain financially, and then as a business owner now. And I saw TikTok the other day. It made me cry. I don't know if you guys have gotten that up on your guys' TikTok, but I've only gotten people that just like go to restaurants, or go to like Target, and they pay like some old person's groceries, and they start crying. And they're like, oh my god, why did you pay for my groceries? And they're like, choose kindness. And I sound like the most hipster bitch ever when I say that, but yeah, choose kindness. Like, how hard is it to choose kindness? I feel like it's so easy to take a step back if you're angry and really just Okay, I know I'm angry. I acknowledge my feelings. They're allowed, they're valid. You're allowed to be angry, you're allowed to be annoyed. But why take it out on another person? Like, I notice if I have a bad day or I'm really tired and this person in front of me is going 10 under, I want to honk and be like, yo, bitch, get the fuck out of the way. Why are you going so slow? But then I'm like, on a good day, I wouldn't do that. So you really have to self reflect and be a better person and choose the kindness. It really brings me back to when I was traveling to Italy. Italy was just such a good experience for me because I traveled there alone. I've always been a person that's been kind of like afraid of doing things alone, but I've always been a loser. So no one ever wanted to do things with me besides like my little sister, God bless her. So I always went out of my way to do things alone because I was so tired of waiting for people to join me. Like, I went alone to Italy because, first of all, I didn't want to bring anyone because I'm like, ew, I don't want to do the same things you want to do. I want to go alone and just enjoy myself. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can walk around, drink my little frattutino, like whatever they call it. So I went alone to Italy in my 20s. I'm still in my 20s. I'm 25. I sound like old grandma. But I did that, and that trip was just so meaningful. Like, I was listening to Call Me By Your Name soundtrack. I landed in Sicily, and I was just like, oh, it makes, like, I'm gonna cry this episode, most probably. I remember I landed in Sicily. I sat on a bus, and I was so hungry. I was so tired. I was from Norway to Poland, Poland to Italy, Sicily. And I used to work in a restaurant called Faro. There we had a restaurant cook. His name was Salvatore. Salvatore, I love you. Like, he's the sweetest person ever. And he was Italian. He was like, pizza mama. He was from Palermo in Sicily. He's gonna pass away if he hears me say Palermo, Sicilia. I went there, I sat on a bus, I was just so excited to like roam around. I didn't have any money, by the way, so you can travel even if you don't have money. My mentality was, it's better to be broke in Italy than to be broke in my hometown. And it really was. I was eating bananas, sipping my little orange juice, just sitting there on the beach. You know how nice that is? Yes, it is much nicer. You just have to afford that flight. And even then, it's like, if you have a car too, you can drive so many places, especially here in the States. Anyway, I was sitting on the bus, and then the lady next to me, she was a Muslim. So she wanted to break her fast, and she had a piece of chocolate, and I was so hungry. And I remember she asked me, hey, do you know what the time is? I need to break my iftar or break my fast. That's what she said. Don't quote me on that. And I said, yes, the time is da-da-da-da-da. And she was like, oh, do you want a piece of chocolate? Like, I'm Muslim. I want to offer this for you. And I was like, oh, that's so wholesome and so cute. And her name was Ilaria. We talked the entire time. She showed me photos of her children. She was from Tunisia. So I think the boat ride from Tunisia to Sicily isn't that far. Don't quote me on that again. And she was just like, such a sweet person. We talked for so long. She, like, I even still have her on WhatsApp. Like, she's the sweetest person. And when I got there too, I was walking around. I wasn't able to pull out money or cash from an ATM, and I was gonna buy oranges from this. It was an Indian family. They had this little front store. And I need to actually find you my travel journal one day and read you, because I remember writing that and crying and having a piece of that orange in my notebook. And I remember I went there. It was still late at night, but the evening, the street was just filled with so much love and secureness. Like, I didn't feel unsafe a single time I was there. No one was walking around with guns or anything. Like, it was so, everyone was having a good time, a little tipsy from wine. And I went to the store because I was gonna buy oranges. I didn't have cash on me. I tried paying with my Norwegian card. It didn't go through. And they went in the back and got the nicest bag of oranges they could find and like really fill the bag up and like, no, take more. Like, they were the sweetest people. And I remember, I'm like tearing up talking about it. And it's so lame, because why are you tearing up talking about oranges? But it's just like, those acts of kindness, they chose kindness, and they're kind by nature. For me to sit down and write and have tears streaming down my eyes and just be like, I'm in Italy, I'm sunburnt, and I'm super broke. I didn't even have money to buy oranges. I was so hungry on the bus, but Ilaria, God bless her, gave me some chocolate. Like, I will always remember that. And this happened 5 years ago. Like, I just really appreciate people like that. Be the change you want to see in the world. Ugh, so lame. Be the change you want to see in the world. Like, how original. Gandhi has said that 40 times before. Like, oh my god. But I really reflected on that, and it just made me so sad that it's like, it went from that to cutting you in traffic and being mean and talking shit about you on internet. And it's just like, what are we missing here? You know, like, I want people to be nice. I do notice a lot of love whenever I go on weddings. That's actually what I'm going to talk about next, is the wedding corner. The corner being the segment where I just talk about weddings just in general, what I've done, any tips and tricks, anything I want to get better at. And the wedding corner being, every time I go to weddings, it really helps me reset that mindness that quote unquote everyone is mean. Because when I go there, there's so much love and everyone is smiling and drama is kind of put aside and people are laughing and sharing stories. And for me, like, I don't know these people. They are my clients. They are very important for me. But at the end of the day, their names in my laptop that has written a contract and paid my invoice. I don't know their story. I don't know if they've, I always try to get to know them. Oh, Jesus. But I don't truly know them. And for them, to meet their mothers and meet their family and to be able to experience something so intimate together with them and their favorite songs, walking down the aisle, sharing bouquets, crying together, hearing their private vows is just so meaningful to me. Like, my entire brain resets when I see that there's so much kindness too in the world. And I love that weddings is my job. Speaking of weddings, last wedding, the one on Monday, like I said last time, I really wanted to get better at doing flat lace. And flat lace is literally just like, you put all the details down on a flat surface and you take a photo from above. And I think I nailed really properly my first one. I'm so proud of it. She had a bunch of details, a bunch of flowers and things, and I just kind of put it together with some ribbon. It looked really good. I have also gotten just like a box with ribbons, letters, what's it called, an envelope, like just a bunch of things. So I'm very happy that that is a more professional aspect of my life. Really just excited about all the wedding things that is going on recently. Top 5 today is top 5 things that I want to achieve in 2026. So, number 5 on the list of top 5 things that I want to achieve in 2026 is shoot more destination weddings. Destination doesn't necessarily have to be like Italy. Of course, everyone wants to shoot in Italy. But I love it. I think it's so fun. I'm going to California the first weekend in April. And I'm so excited about that wedding. I don't like California in general, but the bride and the groom are just so sweet. It's a very, very aesthetically pretty wedding, and I'm so excited. I have been putting a lot of money back into my business, just like buying new SD cards, buying this, buying protection for my gear. I'm just really making sure I get there, prepared. I'm going to Iceland. I am really, really, really wanting to land a wedding in Vietnam. I'm gonna try to go there in December of this year together with Taiwan. Like, I always try to go once a year to Asia. My dream, Thailand and the Philippines. I want to do that so bad. And I know Thai and Filipino photographers are just out of this world. If you thought Americans were good, like, check out them, especially when it comes to film. Like, they are, shout out, they are so good. If you go on my business Instagram, you will find all of my favorite ones. Like, they're just photographer, food, tattoo. That's shit they know how to do. And my dream is to just like go there and take photos. I really want to try to organize that. And top 4 thing I want to achieve in 2026 is just having a successful business in general. I want to have a very stable business with stable financial decisions. I want to be able to save money. I want to be able to invest money. I want to be able to have a baby fund that makes me secure when we do have children. We have talked a lot about children, and that might be happening next year. I still want to be able to work my job even when we have children. So I am for sure just really wanting to have a stable, good income and good bookings, and knowing that I have at least like a few weddings a year. I can't really see myself going back to doing anything but this. And oh my God, God forbid, knock on wood, God forbid another COVID happens. Let's not, oh, I'm taking my words back. We're not putting that into the energy, into any universe. Because I am also getting a master's degree in intelligence, just to be sure. In case anything happens, I can also lean on that. But I'm hoping not to lean on that, because I want to do photography for the rest of my life. Weddings photography specifically for the rest of my life. And hopefully only until I'm like 30, so I can retire early. I'm ambitious, but hey, you manifest things, you say. And I've been on manifesting TikTok. I've been so many people just being like, stop having excuses. You need to get up and fucking work your ass off. No one's gonna come save you. You gotta make the change you want to see. And I'm like, yeah, write that down. Oh my God, love it. So for sure, I'm very inspired. And I honestly think me saying this loud next year, I know I can guarantee you I will Venmo you $5 million if none of these happen. This is not I want to achieve. This is I am going to achieve in 2026. There is no plan B. This is my only plan. I don't have a backup plan. I don't have a backup job. This is what's going to happen whether I like it or not. And I better set that. Cars are so loud. I'm so sorry. I'm going to set that as a number 1 priority. I'm going to work every day. If I need to work 32 hours every day, there's only 24 hours in a day. I'm going to find that extra hours and I'm going to make it work. Because honestly, too, let me go on a tangent here. I'm so tired of people saying, you're lucky. No, bitch, I'm not lucky. I worked so fucking hard to be where I am today. I worked so hard to have so many weddings that I do. I get people asking me, oh, I see constantly on Instagram you have new clients. I always announce it. I say, welcome to our new wedding couple, Ariana and Matt. We're photographing their wedding in July 2026. I always get people saying like, oh my God, you got so many. You're so lucky for having a viral TikTok. No, I'm not lucky. I'm never lucky. I am master manipulator in a good way. Nothing's ever convenient. I always stalk, look at the algorithm. I make sure and I see what's viral, about what comes up on my feed. What exact words did they use? What kind of hashtag did they use? What kind of work did they use? I'm only posting what I want people to see, my absolute best work. I understand where the best time of day it is to post. I go on Google, I go on Reddit, I go on YouTube, I pay for courses to get better on photography, film photography. What's the best lens? What's the specs of this camera? Like, nothing is random, nothing is lucky. I have worked and put in every single detail you see. That's all me. That's all me. I'm not lucky. And you can't get none of fucking this if you're not working hard. You gotta work hard. You gotta be thorough. You can't just lay on the couch and scroll on TikTok and say, oh my god, none of my videos get... Yeah, because they're shit. Because you gotta work harder. Work harder and get the goal you want to get. It's never gonna happen otherwise. It always works out for people that work hard. You're not just lucky. Sorry to say that. That was a little intense. Number 3 on top 5 things that I want to achieve in 2026 is run a marathon. I really want to run a marathon. That has not been going so good lately, but trigger warning if you're triggered about talking about weight, but since I was 8 years old, the only thing I wanted for Christmas is to be fucking skinny. I've always been a little chunky girl. My main focus, especially for this year, kind of finally released that I don't need to be skinny anymore. I just want to be good. I want to be able to play with my children, squat down next to them, run without being winded, go up and down the stairs without feeling fat. I want to be able to put on clothing and feel confident and not make that my entire identity. Like, I want to maintain a healthy mindset, and I want to be able to set myself a goal that in November, I don't care what happens, you're running a marathon, whether you like it or not. That's gonna happen, and you're gonna run every day. You can ask ChatGPT, make myself a 33-week running plan, and then finish it. Whether you are lazy or tired or sick, you are going to finish it. I think that drive and determination is kind of, not to sound super cocky, but that's what's keeping me successful. But honestly though, what lies am I speaking here? You know, if I set myself a goal and I make a progressive plan to finish it and I finish that goal, am I lucky, or was I just really fucking determined? Go figure. You know? Contradictory to that, number 2 on top 5 things that I want to achieve in 2026 is doubt less in myself. I want to be able to have the confidence that I know that I have. I know that I'm good at what I do, and I want to be able to say that confidently instead of being like, oh yeah, but I'm not cocky, no, I promise, yeah, I think I'm good. No, I know I'm good because I get booked consistently and I have a successful business year 2 and I'm making 6 figures a year. I know what I do is good, and there's no doubt in that. And no matter what criticism or nasty comments, no one can put that down because I know deep down, I know. And there's always someone that's going to be better than you, but I know that I'm better again than them. Not to be cocky in here, but I want to doubt less in myself. I want to have a good, persistent style that if people see that, they're going to be like, that's April's work. I know that. That is her work, and I know for sure that that's her work. The same way, I don't want to doubt myself with investing money or saving money. I want to be able to, no matter if I need more money or not, that money goes, 5% goes to investment, that goes to retirement. There's no touching that money. And that has been very hard because I kind of grew up really just spending a lot of money. I love spending money so much. But you really, especially as a business owner, $1,000 isn't $1,000. $1,000 is $250 that you can spend maybe on groceries. There's not much money I can take home at the end of the day. A lot of it is put aside for money and savings, but that's where you get smart. That is where you make yourself different from everyone else. Because if you have $1,000 paid from a client and you spend $1,000, you're really fucking dumb. You're gonna go corrupt next year. You can retire tomorrow. It's not gonna work for you. I'm sorry to say it. It's brutally honesty. But if you put aside a little bit for your investment, you put aside to pay your taxes, you put aside for business expenses, a little emergency savings. If you have bills, there's a separate bill savings account for that. and then you can allow yourself to use what's left of that, then you're very good. And this is not going to be like a financial audit podcast where I'm like, you need to save every dollar and fuck your Starbucks. Like, we're not doing that. I drink Starbucks almost every single day. But, you know, there's a fine balance where you just yourself, you have to figure that out, how to make that work. And number one on things, top 5 things that I want to achieve in 2026 is I really want this podcast to grow. And not in the terms of like, I want it to be 1 million views. No, I want it to be an inspiring and a creative platform that we can sit and discuss. Other creatives can join in. We can do interview episodes. It can be informative. Even if you're not a business owner or if you don't give one crap about weddings or anything photography related at all, I still want this to be a creative platform where you once a week just gather together, we sit down, we talk, and after you turn off the episode, you're like, I really enjoyed listening to that episode and I learned something today. I think that's my biggest takeaway of that year. Like, I want to become an educator, whether that is in YouTube form or podcast, or I do on Instagram stories, or whether that be, I love talking. So I think for sure a podcast platform is the best for me because it's very quote unquote low effort. I can kind of just sit here, talk. And also, guys, did you know that my camera didn't fail this episode? I finally fixed it. So this is the first full episode where both microphone and camera is working correctly. Our doggy, she's sleeping, didn't make a sound. My backdrop looks fine. I think I'm finally getting a hang of this. And I'm making a little script throughout the week. I'm editing. It's getting consistent, you know? Slow and steady wins the race. So, if you really enjoyed this episode, I would love if you left a comment, if you left a like, if you rated this on Spotify. You can go in and rate it 5 stars, please and thank you. I'm not gonna sit and beg for a subscriber. Like, subscribe and share. Like, I'm not gonna do that. But if you like it, I wouldn't mind. I have no idea who is listening to this. You know what? I was even thinking, like, what if it's an old friend I haven't talked to in years? Hi, in that case, if it is my family members, they always watch. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Friends and family. I also want to give a shout out to Zoe. Thank you so much. I know you are listening. You said last episode, I think you've been listening to every episode. And you're just the sweetest girl. She was one of my clients and I took photos for her wedding, and I haven't had time to do Pilates with her, but God bless her. She's the sweetest. She always invites me out. So I want to give a little shout out to her and my family. They always listen. They always comment. You guys are the epitome of my business. You guys are what keeps me going, because I see that, okay, if no one is listening, those 4 views, you are them, and I appreciate you guys so much. So that was it. I think I got ready to sit and talk with you guys for 40 minutes. I really appreciate you guys. Also, if you guys care to comment what you guys want to hear about the next episode, we can either do the same structure, or I was thinking to do an interview episode where I kind of really talk in depth about myself. Yes. Yes. So I hope you guys have an amazing day and week and weekend. Go get that bag. If there's something that has been burning inside of you, a hobby, a question, something you really want to do but you don't have the balls to do it, men have the audacity and the balls to do it every day. So go do it. Go do it and do it good. Do it the best. Okay? Put that ego aside and do it the best. You think Olympic medalists get it because they're a little insecure and, oh, what if people think I'm cringe? No, they're cocky and they did it, and they did it the best. Okay, so go out, get it done, and get it done the best and the thoroughest, but don't be cocky. Okay, I just want to inspire people and just go get shit done, okay? Go get it done. I feel like David Goggins. You know who's gonna carry the boat? But honestly, who's gonna carry the boat? You are. Okay, take that with you for next week. All right, I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I love you guys so much. Bye. Oh, maybe I should say this has been Grain Podcast. My name has been April, also known as SHIVRSHOTS Photography. You can find me on those handles everywhere on Instagram and Facebook. And I wish you have a good day. Goodbye.